I'm in my bag today. You try me and I'm on your ass today. I'm getting cash today. These niggas be capping like masquerades. I got a master play. My rebels gon' put on their mask today. Come up the faster way. We get to the money and blast away.
Mama So Cool, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good, good. First, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to share your story with us, open and be transparent. What is your real name?
My name is Reevy Michelle Brady.
Okay, and where are you from?
Gary, Indiana.
Okay. What was your childhood? What was it like growing up in Gary, Indiana?
Ooh, growing up in Gary, that was back when I was coming up. It was nice. You know, it wasn't like it is today. I had a very strict child upbringing, if I'm saying that correctly. My grandmother and my mom raised me. Mainly my grandmother, because my mom worked a lot. Yeah, she was strict. My friends used to call me Cinderella. She had me cleaning outside as well as inside all the time. I was the only child in the household. I do have a brother, but he wasn't raised with me. It was, yeah.
Did you have many friends growing up?
I had a lot of friends. I did. But I couldn't spend the amount of time that I wanted to with them. Sometimes I could, and then like when it came to going out to like school activities and things like that, you know, like ball games and stuff, I wasn't allowed to go to those type of events. So I would have to stay home.
Like you said, very, very strict.
Yeah.
How many children do you have?
I have 5 children.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 girls and 3 boys. Tashana Monet Terrell, that's my first. Cordero James Brady is my second. Kenneth L. Brady, I'm sorry. He's my third. Shamithia Nicole Terrell, that's my fourth. And last but not least, I have Anthony Stephen Brady.
Okay. And they were all fathered by the same father, or?
No, my oldest daughter, Tashana, has a different father than the other 4.
Okay. So, how old were you when you first had your first child?
I want to say I was 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how did that relationship with, Tashana? How did that relationship with her father come about?
My mom worked with him. And when I moved to Atlanta with my mom, she introduced me to him. Yeah. The relationship was cool. It was cool. I was young, you know. So he was a little bit older, and it was like I'm not gonna say my first real relationship, but it was like my first relationship with an older guy. Yeah, he was like what? I want to say. I really don't know. Was he like 4 or 5 years older than me?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So yeah, it was a different type of relationship. He was a country boy, you know what I'm saying? And I liked that. He had a nice car, had money because he worked a good job. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it was real exciting to me. He took me out a few times. I think I was falling head over heels for him more than he was me, because he had a woman. And he did tell me about it, but I thought maybe he was going to break it off or whatever. He didn't. So
how did you guys end up breaking it off?
I wind up moving back to Indiana. Yeah.
And then that's where you met.
I found out I was pregnant on the road trip back to Indiana. My mom told me, she said, "You're pregnant." I said, "No, I'm not." You know, sure enough, I was. Yeah. So I went back to Indiana and went back to my relationship I had prior to my oldest daughter's father. And and we picked back up where we left off.
And then following that, you had your second child.
Yeah.
And how long? What's the age difference between those two?
They were a year apart.
Oh, okay.
A year apart. Mm-hmm.
And then, so what did that look like for you? You're younger. You have, this previous relationship you went back to. You just moved back. You have 2 small children. What did that relationship, and then what did that look like for you?
Well, I still had the one. Now, when I found out I was pregnant, it was like when I first got back to Indiana, on the road trip back to Indiana, and got back into my prior relationship that I had before I moved to Georgia. And about a year later, I wound up pregnant again. So you say, what was the question in between that?
I said, what did that look like for you? You have 2, small children. You're back with this. What did that relationship and that time frame, what did that look like for you? Like, was it easy? Was it hard raising the 2 small children?
It was easy because I had him, and then I had the support of my family at the time. So that was easy. I was like going through a lot of postpartum depression or whatever. Is that what it was called? After you have the baby? After I had CJ.
Did that take any effects on your relationship with CJ's father?
Well, here's the thing. CJ's father started cheating on me while I was pregnant with CJ. So I never could understand why. In my eyes, I was a perfect girlfriend, but I guess I wasn't perfect enough. Well, anyways, he wind up apologizing, and then would do it again and again. And I stayed because he claimed my oldest daughter as his too. That's how she wind up with his last name. Yep. So I stayed because of the kids at the time.
Which, you're right, most people do. So, and how long did that, because obviously the rest of your children were by him as well. So how long did that relationship last, and what caused you to leave that relationship?
The relationship lasted until my youngest, Anthony, was, I want to say, 1 or 2. I think he was 1. I had got off into selling drugs as well as using drugs. A family member called CPS on me because I was selling drugs out of my house and I was getting high. So that's when the relationship split up. Okay. He had went to jail prior to me going to jail. I can't remember what the reason was, but yeah, he had went to jail a couple of days before CPS came to my house. Quiet as kept, I thought he called CPS on me, but come to find out it was a family member. So it was over. The relationship ended.
We out here swarming, we in this bitch, all the stress with the click rebels playing that night, shoot up shit till the morning. Niggas can't hate any time of the day, but we still get that paid, they gon' rain till it's pouring, storming. Everywhere we go, they wanna